She's the one who shot her.
Restraining order, but she shot her.
The gun in the car. Oh my God.
Monday morning, September 8th, the South Loop of Chicago stirred to life. Commuters filled the streets. Yellow school buses rumbled past the towering buildings, and the day began like any other. Among the parents at the curb stood a 31-year-old mother, Romeca Meeks-Blackmon, holding her son's backpack, reminding him to be kind, be brave, and do his best. Inside that backpack was a small folded note, a message written in her careful handwriting. Happy Monday, son. Today is the first start to this, and you can start off strong. Always remain yourself. You're the coolest, smartest, and funniest kid I know. Mommy loves you. It would be the last message she ever gave him. Minutes later, the sound of a single gunshot echoed through South State Street. Parents froze. Children screamed. When the chaos cleared, Romeca lay motionless on the pavement, struck once in the face. Her morning routine, a mother's ritual of love, had turned into one of Chicago's most shocking domestic tragedies. How does an ordinary school drop-off end in murder? What chain of events transformed a private conflict into a public killing? And why, despite eyewitnesses in custody of suspect, have justice and accountability remained elusive? Before we begin, if you believe every victim deserves a voice and every story deserves truth, subscribe to The Silent Witness, click the bell, and help keep these stories alive. Because silence protects no one. When we look closer at what led to that tragic morning, the story begins to unfold with the quiet tension of a strained relationship. Romeca's life revolved around her son, and those who knew her said she was deeply protective, the kind of mother who put her child's emotional well-being before anything else. But behind the scenes, there were signs of stress. Reports later confirmed that her death was linked to a domestic situation involving individuals connected to her past relationship. So what went wrong? Friends of Romeca describe her as peaceful but firm, someone who believed in setting boundaries. That boundary was reportedly being tested. A disagreement between her and her ex-partner's circle had begun brewing, centered on parenting responsibilities and personal tensions that had been simmering for weeks. By that Monday morning, what should have been a routine school drop-off carried an unspoken weight. Witnesses later said they saw a heated exchange, words sharp enough to draw attention from parents nearby. Within seconds, that argument shifted from verbal to irreversible. It was shortly after 7:30 a.m. when it happened. Parents were still walking their kids toward the entrance of the elementary school near 22nd and State Street. The air was filled with the normal morning buzz, traffic, conversations, laughter from the playground, and then chaos. A single gunshot shattered everything.
She's the one who shot her.
She's the one who shot her.
Restraining order, but she shot her.
The gun in the car. The gun in the car. Oh my fucking God!
On the page in the car, how you feel? Someone dropped her, get up. You scared as hell, right? Scared as hell. You scared as hell.
No, it wasn't. You had it by the car and I saw you.
You were trying to stop her in the car, bro. You're throwing her in the car, bro. What are you talking about? You had her in a headlock. When you shot her, Brody, I was there. I'll write a statement.
I don't know arrested. There's a fucking gun on the street.
I'm licensed to carry.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter, bitch.
You shot somebody, nigga. What the fuck wrong with you?
Calm down. Calm the fuck down.
He out his mother. He out his. She put the gun in the car. The gun, she shot her? Let's go right here. She shot her. She shot her. She put the gun in the car. She put the gun in the car. The gun is in the car. Arrest her.
The scene transformed from ordinary to tragic, right in front of her child's school. The note she had written to her son that morning would become one of the most haunting details of the case, a mother's encouragement moments before her life was taken. Emergency services arrived quickly, and Romeca was rushed to the hospital. Despite immediate efforts, she didn't survive. The coroner ruled her death a homicide. Within hours, the news broke across Chicago. Schools in the area went on soft lockdown, and parents struggled to explain what had happened. The city's South Loop, known for its sense of safety and community, was shaken. Police secured the scene and began interviewing witnesses. Early statements confirmed what investigators feared. This wasn't a random act. It was personal.
What do you tell a kid when you just drop me off? How do you just say she's not here anymore? How do you explain it? It's so sad you can't even just think straight. I can't even get my words out just thinking about it bad happening right here by us.
Officers identified a person of interest, believed to be connected to Romeca's ex-partner. Detectives classified the incident as domestic-related, a term that hinted at an emotional and possibly long-standing conflict. By midday, the school had become a crime scene surrounded by yellow tape. The once routine act of dropping off a child had turned into a moment that would echo through the community. As the day ended, one question lingered in the air. How did a disagreement between adults spiral into a public execution in broad daylight? Viewers, picture the scene just hours after the shooting. Patrol cars lined the streets. Flashing lights reflected off nearby windows, and the sound of radios filled the air. Detectives from the Chicago Police Department's Homicide Unit began piecing together what had just happened. The first thing they learned was that this wasn't random. This was targeted. Authorities immediately called it a domestic-related incident. That term, while clinical, carried a heavy meaning. It meant that the victim and the suspect shared some kind of personal history, something deep enough to ignite rage. And in this case, that connection traced back to Romeca's past relationship. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage from nearby traffic cameras and school security systems. Several parents also provided cell phone recordings from moments before and after the gunshot. That footage became crucial. Investigators also began interviewing those closest to Romeca. Friends confirmed she had mentioned ongoing tension with someone connected to her ex-partner, though she had reportedly tried to avoid confrontation. She was known for her composure, not someone to provoke violence. As word spread, the South Loop community gathered in shock. Parents left flowers, notes, and candles near the school fence. They weren't just mourning a woman. They might have passed in the morning drop-off line. They were grieving the sudden loss of safety in a place that had always felt protected. Romeca's friend described her as a devoted mother who lived quietly and worked hard to give her son stability. That image, a kind-hearted mom whose life ended outside her child's school, resonated deeply. Social media filled with tributes and heartbreak. Messages flooded in from those who had never even met her, expressing disbelief that such violence could unfold in a public space. Detectives moved quickly, knowing every hour accounted for Romeca Meeks-Blackmon's family. They raced to piece together what happened that morning, determined to bring some closure to the endless questions. By week's end, the pace of the investigation reached a sharp turn. Though a Holly was seized at the scene, no charges had been filed. She was later released that day. That moment of being in custody brought temporary relief, but it reopened raw emotions for the family and everyone watching. When the news spread, social media timelines lit up with one word: justice. But with no formal charging decision yet, the relief was fragile. Witnesses say the confrontation involved Meeks-Blackmon, another woman, and the father of her child. What began as a conflict turned deadly. Earlier that morning, Meeks-Blackmon had placed a handwritten note in her son's lunchbox. "You're the coolest, smartest, funniest kid I know. Mommy loves you." Moments later, she was ambushed. Now, the legal process is in limbo. Investigators remain at work. Prosecutors say more evidence is needed before charges can be filed. Meanwhile, the family holds vigil and the community holds its breath.
I am broken. I am so broken. I ask that you give us strength. Give us strength, Father, for every one of us, because we're going to need it in this moment. Justice for each. Justice
So to you, our viewers, what does Romeca's story leave us with? It reminds us that behind every headline is a real person, a parent, a friend, a life cut short. It calls on us to recognize how fragile things can become when conflict spirals, how quickly routine can turn into tragedy.
And it was all for me. It was all for me.
Pop your shit, baby.
Stay with us. We will continue following this case as every detail surfaces and the search for justice continues. If you found this story eye-opening, make sure you like this video, subscribe to The Silent Witness, and click the bell icon so you never miss another case we uncover. Every share helps raise awareness, and every view keeps these stories from being forgotten, because sometimes silence is the loudest witness of all.